their original music, and I just can't wait to have them sing and share their music with you. So I spoke with them the other day. Let's take a look. Today's show, we are going to focus on Election Day. Today is Election Day, and I brought along with me 4 of my students from the Young at Arts Lab, and these 4 are very special. They are performers who've come up through the program, but they're also makers. Each one of them is a music producer or songwriter songwriter. And I thought with today's topic of let your voice be heard, it would be wonderful to hear our young people get a little taste of what they feel about the voting process in our great nation, and also hear some of their wonderful music.
Be proud, take a stand, stop letting your voices get crammed to a bottle of unrespected things. Right now is our time, don't leave it behind, that you can find your way home. Cause if the grass is greener on the other side, why don't we just jump the fence? And if we like it better when all it does is change, why don't you just step aside? This is not your time. And if the world is brighter when you step right over, why don't we just accept each other? And if we can get there by being together, why don't we just say it's fine? Don't criminalize those you left behind. We're all skin and bones, don't need to focus on tones. If we were wrong, why would we be here? Stop hiding behind your fake mask of faith and of lies. Just let everyone be. Cause if the grass is greener on the other side, why don't we just jump the fence? And if you like it better when all it does is change, why don't you just step aside? This is not your time. And if the world is brighter when we step right over, why don't we just accept each other? And if we can get there by being together, why don't you just say it's fine? Don't criminalize those you left behind. Life is not just about black and white. People aren't either. Stop acting like you have the right to disenfranchise each other. This is our world, we're here together, we must live together. So to stop putting people down for their differences and start building them up for their uniqueness. Cause if the grass is greener on the other side, why don't we just jump the fence? And if we like it better when all it does is change, why don't you just step aside? This is not your time. And if the world is brighter when we step right over, why don't we just accept each other? And if we can get there by being together, why don't you just say it's fine? Don't criminalize those you left behind.
That was Our World by Amelie Claire. Thank you, Amelie, for sharing that with us today. Tell me a little bit about your writing process. How do you get the juices flowing?
I find I'm a very emotional person. I'm very empathetic, as I am told a lot. And so I think that my biggest reason to write is just to get my emotions out, and that's what I usually do, and what I channel my writing into. And so usually it's just about what feelings I'm feeling in that moment, and and how I think that they need to be put out into the world.
In one sentence, what is this song about?
If I had to put the meaning of the song in one sentence, I think that it would be, we're all the same, so stop making us look like we're not.
Okay, thank you. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you go to school?
I'm a junior drama major at LaGuardia High School. So I do a lot of acting at school, which is really fun, and I have a lot of awesome teachers there.
Thank you, Amelie.
Be proud, take a stand.
Well, that was a pretty good start there with Amelie Claire. Wonderful job. I want you to know that we want to hear from you here at Open Arts. So if you are watching on the Sing for Hope Open Arts YouTube channel or the Young at Arts Instagram or Facebook or Sing for Hope Facebook, you can get to us and send us some comments about what you've seen or questions or what you'd like to see more of. We'd love to hear from you. Our next performer is Errol Lamar, and I just can't wait for you to hear him. So let's go for it.
Why don't you say what's on your mind? I can tell something's wrong. I can tell already. I mean, what can I say? I'm so in my head about it. In my head about it. You should know. I'm gonna let you have a piece of my mind. A piece of my mind. So I said what I said and you said what you said and we both heard each other, so what are we doing? I said my share words before I closed the day. You said just share words before we beat the hate. Time and time again I wake up and back I lay. If you don't get it then we ain't living the same. Open up my notes to get these thoughts out of my brain. And no, I can't stand the rain, especially when it's on my parade. Especially when it's on my parade. There's so many stories, I hope they reach the glory someday. Let's be honest for a minute. Let's be honest for a minute. Now let's be honest for a minute. From start to finish, I wanna know what's in it. Okay.
That was Errol Lamar and Start to Finish. Errol, I want you to tell me about your start in making music, because I know that you've been doing it for a long time with your family. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So the background behind how I got involved with music is really just, it's like a generational thing basically, where I had older siblings that were involved with music for longer times, and I've just in different programs and overall just been surrounded with music basically my whole life. Mostly I've been inspired by my older siblings and my dad, and more specifically he's been working in studios like from the time that I was a little kid all the way up until, I guess, whenever I started getting into it more, and that really started in 5th grade, I guess, here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So your family makes music together?
Yes. My siblings have been making music for a while, and I kind of really just started getting into the songwriting and music creating world of things. I've always been really interested in it, and it's always been something that's been like a passion of mine. But I think that now has been more the time where I've started to get into writing and creating my own product, I guess.
Wonderful. Tell us about Start to Finish.
Start to Finish, it was a project that I made fairly recently, and what it's really about is being able to freely speak. It's kind of about just feeling what's inside and being able to verbalize it without feeling, worried about what someone has to say or what may come from it. Just speak true from your heart, and I guess.
Yep. Yeah. Good. It's what we all need to be able to do freely, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Sing for Hope extends a special thank you to Unitex, a founding sponsor of Open Arts, for making this program possible. Unitex Healthcare Laundry Services is the largest family-owned and operated healthcare linen and uniform rental company in the country and has been serving the Northeast region for 100 years. Sing for Hope is grateful for their generous support.
We're back. I'm so proud of these kids, and I wanted to just say one thing. We have a wonderful lab called the Sing for Hope Young at Arts Lab, and we are educating students in the arts every day, 365 days a year, pretty much all year round, through after-school programs, in-school programs, summer camp experiences, and travel experiences. And we can't do it without you. So I would love to just say that you can help keep the music going, you can help keep Open Arts going, and you can help keep the Sing for Hope Young at Arts Lab going by donating to Sing for Hope. And we thank you so very much. The arts is vital. It's vital to our health, and it's vital particularly right now. And so any amount you can give really will help us out. Thank you so much. And we are going to go on with the show. So we now have Isabel Santina. So let me bring her up, and she is going to share a little bit of her voice. Check it out.
I'll take my anger, I'll take my hate, I'll take my privilege and advocate. I see your struggles, I see your plight, I see your bruises, and I will fight. All lives won't matter unless black does too. I may be white, but I stand with you.
Well, there's a lot of news to get to tonight. George Floyd left behind a 6-year-old daughter. We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong.
I pray for equality. I pray for love. I pray for acceptance. Dear God above, hear my prayers and hear my cries, 'cause I'll keep praying until no one dies. All lives won't matter unless black does too. I may be white, but I stand with you. I am your ally. I am your friend. We'll fight together. I will defend you. Our blood is red. Our tears are blue. Our hearts both beat. Mine beats for you.
That was Isabel Santina and her song, Ode to Life. I was blown away by that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Can you tell us a little bit about when you wrote the song and a little bit of the background about it?
So when everything with Black Lives Matter and George Floyd was really on the forefront of our community and our world, I was on a Zoom with one of my music teachers, and she asked us, her students, what we could do to advocate for civil rights and to help our friends and family get through this really difficult time for the Black community. And almost subconsciously, I just started writing, and I came up with this song in about an hour, and I sent it to her, and she loved it. And it was really great to hear that I had touched her.
That's wonderful. Isn't it interesting how when you become inspired by something, or how it can just come and it just flows,
Absolutely.
right? So it just flowed for you. Well, that's great. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I get very teary-eyed when I watch that. I'm so proud of her. I'm proud of all these students in the way that they are so very lucky to be able to let their voices be heard in a way that is very vulnerable and scary, but yet they have this this bravery that I know I did not have when I was their age. So just very, very proud of them. All of these students that you see, and you're going to see more of them on this channel, come from the Sing for Hope Young at Arts Lab. And so I just thought I'd share with you a little bit about what we're doing, over there in the lab, and show you some of the things that we offer voice lessons and music lessons and dance classes and African drumming and all sorts of different things every day after school. We are also in partnership with the All right. And so now I'm going to introduce you to Keon Harold Jr. Let's see what's up with Keon.
We gotta do better. The system is broke. We're standing together for justice, for hope. We only want justice. We only want justice. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified times. Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. Thank God my friend's alive. Breonna Taylor, we'll never forget ya. Unjustified, 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 unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified times. Unequal treatment of the oppressed. Show me your iPhone, get your knee off my neck. We gotta do better. The system is broke. We're standing together for justice, for hope. We only want justice. They only want justice. Screaming for justice. Oh, justice. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified time. Unjustified, unjustified, unjustified times.
That was Keon Harold Jr. and his song Unjustified Times featuring Keon and Isabel Santina. Beautiful. Thank you so very much for sharing that with us. Can you tell us a little bit of the backstory about your song?
So basically, I originally wrote the song for Ahmaud Arbery when I saw the video and he sadly passed away, was murdered. And then next thing you know, I was assaulted in a hotel for like a video. But then I went to the studio with my friends. I was like, let's make a song. Like, let's just make a song just to talk about what happened, you know.
What do you think allowed you to feel comfortable that you could put your feelings into music and let the world hear it? What gave you that confidence?
I feel like making me put that song out and like expressing my feelings through the song and music itself. I've been doing music for a long time, and like maybe it's just time for me to just put it out and just like show people like how I feel and like what people like are doing, you know? Like I can't hold it in anymore. So it's probably a good reason to, you know, put it out.
Well, you know, you're very lucky to feel like you can do that. I think all of you are lucky to be able to let that out. So, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's talk about elections. Amelie, I'm going to start with you. At what age do you think that students should be allowed to vote?
I don't exactly know what specific age, but I do think that the voting age should be lowered because, especially in this time of COVID and being in this place where so much is being decided very quickly and by government officials, I think that I would feel more comfortable if I had the right to choose who was governing me, because if you're electing somebody or adults are electing somebody, they're electing somebody that's going to do well by them. But I don't know who's being elected into office for, you know, the governor of New York. So they could make a decision based off of, you know, what they think is right for us, you know, teenagers and kids about our school system or about our rights in schools that don't really align with what we want or what we actually need. Especially when we're going between online and in-person and all of these big changes.
Okay, thank you. Keon, do you think that the right age to vote should be lowered?
I do. I think the age should be 16 because when you turn 16, it's like you know completely what's going on, I guess. If you're younger, like you'll possibly know what you're talking about, but like you have a better understanding, I guess, at 16 as well, because it's like we're learning about a lot of stuff in school, like a lot of history that has to do with politics, I guess, in high school and middle school, and yeah, that's what.
Okay, good. Do either of you feel like you might be influenced negatively by your teachers in school who now that they know that you can vote at 16 might want to sway the student population? Either of you can answer to that if you.
I don't think that a lot of teachers would take that to sway, especially history teachers. I think that there is, especially now, there's a wave of talking about taking the bias out of history and especially textbooks. At least at my school there is, and I've had a lot of teachers who really want us to look at the wider scope of history. So I think that teachers shouldn't do it. Some might, but I think that some teachers would not.
Keon.
Well, I agree with what Amelie said, and basically like how some teachers are like speak your mind and like, you know, do what you think and like just talk about what you're feeling and how the person that you're going for just like it's just you just feel what they're talking about, I guess. And you know, at least my teachers don't really sway upon that.
Okay.
I mean, I know some teachers do, but I don't know if my teachers sway.
And hopefully, if they did, you would speak up.
Yeah, right.
Great. Errol, who is your greatest influence and why?
Oh, wow. My greatest influence, I'd probably have to say my dad. It's been my greatest influence. And the reason I say that is because I feel like there's been a lot that I've learned just over time through conversations with him, just interactions and just about life in general, how to do things, how to, be real to myself, I guess, has been one thing that I've learned that stands above all else that I've learned. And he's been, like, I guess, the main person that's pushed that towards me or for me.
Well, I hope he's watching today, because he'd be very proud to hear that, right?
Yeah.
Isabel, who is your greatest influence and why?
I would probably have to say my grandma, because, well, for anyone that knows her, she is a very stubborn, hard-headed person, but in the best way possible. And she has severe rheumatoid arthritis, but she does not let that slow her down one bit. So she's always going, she's always at all my performances whenever she can make it. It's been difficult for her during COVID because she is immunocompromised, but she has been going to my performances since the day I started performing.
I love hearing that. Our elders are important, and I love hearing when young people name that and appreciate that. And the one thing I can say is, the time is precious, and keep spending time with your grandma. So wonderful. Okay, we're at the rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Maybe.
Possibly.
Okay, so these are not meant to, you're supposed to just kind of say what's on your mind, okay? And I'm just going to kind of go down
Oh, great.
Yes, so Isabel, you're first. Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Number one, vulnerability. Is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Why?
I mean, I just think if you're not vulnerable, then you can't really connect with people on the same level that you can if you are vulnerable, because vulnerability is, it's very difficult because you're vulnerable.
Right.
So you're kind of shedding all these layers, and it can be extremely difficult to open up to people and get to that deep of a level. But once you do, I think it's really rewarding, and you make connections with people that you could never think were possible before.
And you can't create without being vulnerable.
Absolutely not.
You really can't. So that's why all these artists, they always say yes, everyone I've asked. Okay, Errol, you're called to be brave, but the fear is real and you can feel it right in your throat. What's the first thing you do?
Take a deep breath, take a step back, and try to shift my approach, I guess. Because most times if you feel, well, for me at least, I can say, like when I feel nervous or just like uncomfortable when I'm in these types of situations, it kind of helps me a lot to really just take a step back and just breathe. Be present, right? And when you're present where you are, it kind of helps you to slow things down and just navigate things better. I found it helps me out a lot, so.
Very good, good. Amelie, something that people get wrong about you.
This is a funny one. Everyone thinks I'm French. I speak French fluently. I love France.
Oh, wow.
I speak French fluently. I am not French. I love France. I miss it so much, even though I'm not from there.
You have a French
I went to
name.
French school. I have a French first and middle name, but I am not French at all. And everybody's like, well, you're going to ace this class. You're French. And I'm like, I'm not, but I speak it. So yeah, that's mine.
Blame your mother and father. Keon, what's the last show you binged and loved?
Last show I binged and watched. I'll say On My Block. It's a great show that talks about a block that's kind of disappearing, well, a bunch of drug lords and stuff like that. So.
Is it, what platform is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Ooh,
Good show.
think I'd like it. On My Block?
Yeah, on my block.
Okay.
I watched it
All
in
right.
like a week.
Wow. Okay. Is it just one season?
No, it was 4 seasons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You must not left your house. Okay. I'm going to put that on my list. Isabel, your favorite movie?
Oh, Forrest Gump or Elf.
Ooh.
I'm an Elf person. I know
Okay.
it's very basic, but
Christmas time.
No.
love Will Ferrell.
So do I.
Love Tom
Great,
Hanks.
great actor.
Yes. Yes. Errol, a concert you'll never forget.
I'll never forget the Nth Power. When I went to the show and they called me up on stage and I got to perform Truth with them. That was like, that was kind of crazy because it was like, first of all, I wasn't expecting to perform. Second, it was like the reaction from the crowd was like, oh, this kid's good. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, that's unforgettable. That's just one thing that I kind of like reminisce every now and then to that
I bet
concert.
you do.
Yeah.
I bet you do. Hey, how about getting to improv with John Batiste?
Oh,
Oh,
that also.
oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty
Right?
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a Sing for Hope
Absolutely.
moment.
Go
for
listen to
sure.
both of those people we just listed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Power and John,
John
Batiste.
Batiste.
Nth
people.
Power and John
Awesome
Batiste.
people.
Okay. Amelie, your favorite meal?
Of the day?
No, like,
No, oh, my favorite
like food
Like
meal.
food.
Yeah,
food
your,
meal.
your favorite meal.
I really like mac and cheese, but one of my favorite meals, and I made it this weekend, is my 3-bean lentil chili that I based off of the Hale and Hardy one. If you don't know what Hale and Hardy is, I'm sorry. They serve it with sourdough. Like you can get a nice, like big, crunchy piece of sourdough with it, and it's delicious. I put lime juice and cheese and sour cream on top of mine, and I love making it. It's so much fun, and it's always so fulfilling, especially during the winter.
Keon, name 4 songs on your playlist that collectively say something about you.
Wow, that's crazy. I have so many songs on my playlist. I don't.
Too.
Man, I'm gonna have to say Swamp Thing by Hiatus Coyote. I'm gonna say
It's hard, man.
Public Service Announcement by Jay-Z.
Nice.
I'm gonna say, what's the song that hits hard for me in my playlist? I'm gonna say Me and Mama by Childish Gambino. Another good one. It's the song that you're practicing with the other band is Red Room.
Oh, Red Room.
Oh,
yes.
Red Room.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
Hiatus Coyote.
Coyote.
The bass line for that is
Taste.
it's
Oh,
crazy.
Taste.
Yeah.
So what do they say about you?
That's wrong. All right,
That's good.
that's good. I mean, like I hear a mixture, but I'm gonna go with intelligent, I guess.
Love that. Absolutely true, too. Good. Isabel, a snapshot of an ordinary moment in life that brings you joy.
Ooh, this is a good question.
Oh, wow.
Probably. I'm sure I can speak for almost everyone here when I say that every year we go on a pilgrimage to a monastery in Taizé. Oh, in France, called Taizé, sorry. And basically there's this really beautiful lake, and just there's this bridge that goes over it, and just sitting on the bridge and looking out into the lake. It seems so basic and so simple, but it's so comforting somehow. Like if you went to a lake here or just somewhere where you're used to going, it would not be the same at all. Something about the silence and the tranquility and the coldness and the birds and everything. It's just beautiful.
And you're not allowed to speak, and so it's so peaceful.
Very little sound pollution in place.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Which is very rare,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Okay, this last rapid fire question, I'm just going to go boom, 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 boom. So just whatever comes to your mind.
Okay.
All right, Errol, you ready?
I think so.
Okay. What are you grateful for right at this very minute?
My friends, all my peoples.
Okay.
Love y'all.
What are you grateful for, Amelie, at this very minute?
The fact that I miss my friends and family when I'm away from them, because it just means it just shows how much I love them.
Right.
What are you grateful for?
My family, friends, and music.
Yeah.
Love it. What are you grateful for?
This opportunity and the ability to be here and to be part of Young at Arts for 10 years and just to find a community that I'm so welcomed into that I have been able to come back every year since I was in 3rd grade.
Aww. Well, that's really sweet. Well, I'm grateful for you all. You truly bring joy to my life. Each one of you is a gift. And I want you to keep doing what you're doing. I think that your generation is the greatest generation. I really do. I truly believe that you're going to change the world and make it better. So don't let me down, okay?
We will try.
And I hope that's the end of our show. I hope you'll join us next time. You can find all of the Open Arts programming on the Sing for Hope website at singforhope.org/openarts. That's it for today. This is Sharon Pirtle, and I leave you to find a little joy, a little love, and a little art right now in your everyday, beautiful life. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today. And I just wanted to tell you that tomorrow, stay tuned for my friend Patrick Connolly, who is going to be hosting Broadway actor Timothy Dolan, who's going to tell some wonderful stories and lore of Times Square. So if you're a Broadway fan, I suggest you tune in. On Thursday, we have my wonderful friend Kimberly Gianelli, who is the dance goddess, who's going to introduce us to all sorts of her friends who are dancing on the greatest stages of New York and around the world. And I'll be back with you on Friday. So I want to say thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you right here, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.